Hi, this is Vijay Dikshit in front of you. Today we are discussing the most important topic in accountancy, that is partnership. When we are discussing the word partnership, some of the basic terminologies we have to use, where some of the basic accounts we have to open, where before preparing the partnership, let us know what is the meaning of a partnership and how the partnership word has been derived and which act and which year it was established. Okay, na? Before entering into the partnership, let us know the sole proprietorship first. What is the meaning of sole proprietorship? We have studied in the 11th class, that is sole proprietorship means a single person doing the business is known as sole proprietorship. Yes or no? When we are prepared to sole proprietorship, how do they close the books of accounts? First, they'll transact in the journal, they post them into ledger, trial balance, trading, profit and loss account, and account and balance sheet. See, this is the pattern where we are preparing. A single person doing the business is known as a partnership. Is a single person doing the business is known as sole proprietorship, where a two or more persons doing the same business is known as partnership. That means when two or more persons joining together to form a business is known as partnership. Okay. So when we are discussing about the partnership, this act was started in the year 1932, 1932, in the year 1932. In this partnership, there will be an agreement between the partners. See, those agreement may be written or those agreement may be in oral. If it is a oral, it cannot be more helpful for the future. How, sir? When there is any future disputes between the partners, the oral agreement cannot support the persons. But when there is a written agreement, it will be helpful for the partners in any future disputes. Okay, that is the basic term of partnership. When we are entering into the partnership, we want to know what are the accounts the partners are going to open. So the main thing, when we are doing the partnership, the main chapters what we are discussing will be, the first chapter will be the fundamentals, which will be including the goodwill also, and the next one will be admission, the next one will be retirement and death, the next one will be dissolution of a partnership firm. When we are discussing the topic wise, the first comes with the fundamentals and goodwill. In fundamentals, it will be a normal, okay na, the basic of the partnership was held within the fundamentals. In these fundamentals, what you want to learn will be how to open the accounts. Next, what accounts you should open, and how you should post them, and how you should journalize them. These are the main things you want to know while doing the fundamentals. In fundamentals, the first topic which you are going to cover will be the capitals. So what is the meaning of a capital? So the term capital means how much the partner is going to bring the money is known as a capital. So that may be additional capital or a starting capital. That means commencement of a business, where we have a journal entry. Yes or no? Commencement of a business. What will be the entry? Cash account added to capital account. That means we are increasing the capital. So here the capital will be of two types. First will be the fixed, second one will be the fluctuating method. In the fixed capital method, there will be two ledgers account. Sir, I don't know how to do ledger accounts. Is there any simplification or is there any logic to follow? Yes, there is a logic to follow. Before entering into the logics, you have to know four terms. First one will be the assets and expenses. Next will be liabilities and income. What was the first one? Asset. Second one, expenses. Third one, liability. Fourth one, income. So treat assets and expenses as one category, treat liabilities and income as second category. Okay. Category 1, what will come? Assets and expenses. Category number 2, liabilities and income. Asset and expenses will always have which balance? Debit balance. If you want to increase an asset, debit it. If you want to decrease an asset, credit it. The same logic applicable for the liability. Liability and income will always have credit balance. Liability and income will always have which balance? Credit balance. If you want to increase it, credit it. If you want to decrease it, debited. See, with this logic, we can complete the whole accountancy, not a partnership, not a fundamentals. The whole accountancy we can be completed. Be very careful with the logic. Okay, na? And next, before entering into the partnership, first account what we have to open be the capitals account. We see we are discussing about the two types. Of first will be the fixed, next one will be the fluctuating method. Under the fixed method, we have to open two ledgers. The first ledger what we want to open is the capital account. Okay, na? Capital account. So you told some logic previously, assets, liabilities. Can I apply here? Yes, absolutely, you can apply. How, sir? I told to open which account? Capital account. In capital account means it's a liability of the firm. Yes or no? Liability will always have which balance? Credit balance. Yes or no? When he is bringing the capital means the liability is increasing. Yes or no? So when the liability increases, it should be credited. Yes or no? That is what we are doing. In partner's capital account, we are writing it on the credit side. When he brought an additional capital, that additional capital also should be written on the credit side. That's all. You should not write nothing. Be very careful. Only the capital or additional capital should be written in the capital account. Other anything, it should be written in the current account. Okay, now first we want to open capital account, next we want to open the current account. So under the capital account only the partner's capital only should be written. Under the current account, rest of the things should be written regarding to the partners. Sir, what are the other things we want to write in the partner's current account? Because we are writing journals, we are writing ledgers, we are writing trial balance, we are writing trading profit or loss account and the balance sheet, and the next remaining profit will be transferred now to the partners. Again, what you want to write in the partner's current account? Be very careful. Here comes the problem. Here comes the main headache, that is known as profit and loss appropriation account. Sir, what is the profit and loss appropriation account? I heard the profit and loss account in the 11th class is the profit and loss account and the profit and loss appropriation account is the same. No, it is not at all same. Be very careful. Profit and loss account is related to the whole expenses of the business. Be very careful. Whole expenses of the business. Example, salaries, and next all expenses, carriage outwards and advertisement, depreciation, everything will be in profit and loss account. What will come in profit and loss appropriation account means the first thing which is related to the partner's capital. Underline the word partner's capital. Which is related to the partner's capital or which is affecting. What is the meaning of affecting? Either the transaction should increase the partner's capital or the transaction should decrease the partner's capital. Other than those two things, it should not be written anything. Sir, how we can know whether it is affecting or not? Simple. Interest on capital, interest on loans, interest on drawings, salaries to the partner. See, normal salaries is different and salaries to the partner is different. Very careful. Okay, now when they have given normal salaries in the trial balance, you have to write in profit and loss account, and in the adjustment when they have given salaries to Mr. A is a partner, we have to write in profit and loss appropriation account. You should not decrease from the profit. Be very careful. Be very careful. In profit and loss account, you are getting a net profit, yes or no? See, the formula will be same. First you want to do trading account, next you want to do profit and loss account, next you want to do trade balance sheet. After that only you have to do profit and loss appropriation account, where you have got a net profit. No, those net profit should be transferred to profit and loss appropriation account. Okay, now be very careful with that. So from the net profit you want to do all this. So interest on capital, interest on drawings, interest on loan, salaries to the partner. Next, see, there will be one question. Commission paid. Now be very careful. Commission paid will not come in profit and loss appropriation account. Be very careful. Commission paid will come in profit and loss account only. Be very careful. Because it is not at all related to the partner's capital. No. That is the reason why it should be written in the profit and loss account. Sir, next Mr. A is a partner. He paid a rent. Mr. A paid a rent. He is a partner. Or rent paid by a partner in easy way. Rent paid by a partner. Sir, here the word partner came. Where we have to write? We have to write in profit and loss appropriation. No. See, be very careful. He paid a rent. That's all. What is there in that? He will get back his money. No. Be very careful. Partner paid a rent or rent paid by a partner. Rent paid by a partner only. No. So those things will come in profit and loss account, but not in profit and loss appropriation account. Be very careful with that scenarios. That's why see, won't tell you, they'll twist in the question. Rent paid by a partner. It will come in profit and loss account, but not in profit and loss appropriation account. See, and the next what we see, that's all non-profit and loss appropriation. Very easy. And what will come? Interest on loan, interest on capital, interest on drawings, salaries, and the net profit which was transferred from profit and loss account. Those items will come in profit and loss appropriation account. Other than those items, nothing will come. Be very careful. Okay, na? And the next thing, interest on drawings. It is one of the most complicated for CBS because sometimes the calculator will not be allowed for them. For the ISC students, it will be very easy because the calculators are allowed for them. Okay, now see, for IS or CBS, the formula will be the same. Yes or no? See, in the drawings, if a partner is withdrawing first date of every month, what will we do for the January? Let's take an example of 2000. 2000 into 1 by 12, first month, no, into what is the rate of interest? Let's take an example of 10%. So what you have to do? 2000 into 10 by 100 into 1 by 12. This is what you have to do. So you have to calculate for 12 months. It is very headache. That is the reason why there is a formula for the starting of every month. Directly we can do amount into rate of interest into 6.5 divided by 12. That's all. Starting of every month 6.5. See, if you want, you can cross check. You'll get the same answer. Okay, if you want, you can cross check. You'll get the same answer. At the starting of every month 6.5, and the middle of every month 6, ending of every month 5.5. Okay. See, amount, rate of interest, denominator will be the same for all the three cases. All the three cases, the denominator will be the same, but the months will be changed. Okay, now at the beginning of month 6.5, at the middle of the month 6, at the ending of month 5.5. And next, that is the category 1 when we are calculating in the month of, when we are calculating in the scenario of months. But when you are categorizing in the month, when you are categorizing in the ratio, or when you are categorizing in quarters, okay, now first we have done for months, now we have to do for quarter. Okay, when doing it for quarter, amount into rate of interest, denominator is also same. Beginning of every quarter 7.5, middle of quarter 6, ending of quarter 4.5. If you want, we'll do problems in the next videos. And then next, that's all. The whole fundamentals will be based upon this only. Now these are relating to the fixed methods. And next, fluctuating. I told you to open 2 accounts in capital and next current account. Ledger 1, capital account, ledger 2, current account. Mix those two and write in fluctuating. That's all. That's what in fixed you will get 2. In fluctuating you will get only a single ledger. Okay, now be very careful. In fixed you will get 2 ledgers. Ledger 1, capital account, ledger 2, current account. But when you are doing a fluctuating method, you want to combine these two and you want to write it in a single way. That is what the fundamentals. And next, when we are entering into admission, retirement, death, and dissolution, it is not such an easy task when you are low in calculation point of view, because when the calculators are not allowed, you have to be very perfect in the calculations. When you want to ask everything, when I was asking some percentages, you have to be very perfect in that percentages. If not, you want to pay a lot in the examination because the time will not be that much of sufficient for you. Be very careful with the tables and percentages, etc., etc. Okay, now next, when we are doing admission, retirement, death, we'll keep dissolution as the 4th one. I'm just bifurcating dissolution to the next one. I'll tell you why. Admission, retirement, death, 3 scenarios were same. A little bit of changes. I'll take an example. When there are 2 partners, A and B are partners, as they got a profit of 1 lakh, how much they divide? 50,000, 50,000. Oh, very good. When a new partner is joining, When a new partner is joining, they got a profit of 1 lakh. How much they have to divide? 33,333, 33,333, 33,334 something. That means when a new partner is joining, something they were sacrificing. Yes, that is known as sacrificing ratio. Simple. What is the formula? Old ratio minus new ratio. Old, how much they are getting? 50,000. Now how much they are getting? 33,333. Next, that means how much previously they are getting? 50,000. That is old ratio. New, how much they are getting? 33,333. That means 16,667 they are sacrificing. That is the formula. Old ratio minus new ratio. Okay, na? And the next, at the time, that is at the time of admission. Next, at the time of retirement or a death, same. Previously, there are 3 partners. How much they are getting? 33,333, 33,333, 33,334 something. And next, when one partner is dead or when partner is retired from the partnership firm, same they got a 1 lakh profit. How much they'll divide now? 50,000, 50,000, 50,000. Same as sir, no. Something they are gaining. What was the formula? New ratio minus old ratio. Sacrificing ratio, old ratio minus new ratio. Gaining ratio, new ratio minus old ratio. Okay, old minus new minus old. Sir, this is okay, partnership. Something it is called revaluation. Something, what is it? How to do that? Why we should do the revaluation? Are easy, abba. Every year you are doing balance sheet, yes or no? Yes or no? Every year we will do balance sheet. When you are doing a balance sheet, you want to do some of the adjustment. That adjustments is only known as revaluation. Sir, is there any logic? Yes, there is a logic for this also. But when you are learning the logic and you have to know why we should do this, how we should do this, how it is helpful in the future. These are the main things you have to keep in mind. The logic for the revaluation account is the revaluation will be in the T format. Very good. T format we have done. Debit, credit, super. In the debit side, what we have to write is asset increases or liability, asset decreases or liability increases, write it on the debit side. Asset decreases. If the asset is the value of an asset decreases, write it on the debit side. If the value of a liability increases, write it on the debit. Be very careful. Asset decreases, liability increases. Do reverse. Liability increases or asset increases or liability decreases. Write it on the credit side. Be very careful with this logic. If the asset decreases or liability increases, debit. Asset increases, liability decreases, credit. Okay, sir, we understood the logic. How? Tell me an example. Yeah, I'll tell you an example. Let's take a first example. Depreciation of machinery 1 lakh. In the balance sheet, in 10%. In balance sheet, the machinery value is 1 lakh. In the adjustment, they have given 10%. Okay, very good. When the value of an asset decreases, which side you have to write? Debit side. That's what you have written in profit and loss account. Debit side only, no? Okay, debit side you have written. Very good. Next, what we have to do? Nana, that's what in 11th class, while you are doing final accounts, when there is an adjustment, you have to write 2 times. Yes or no? 2 times. First you will write in profit and loss account. Next you will write in balance sheet. Here also you write the same. What you want to write, sir? What you want to write? The same 10% amount. That means 10,000 will get. The machinery value is 1 lakh. The depreciation is 10%. The 10% will be written on the debit side. Abba, super. We understood. That's what I told. When the asset decreases, liability increases, debit. When the asset increases, liability decreases, credit. Okay, sir. When the appreciation, now we want to see increase of an asset, no? Appreciation of land by 5%. So land value is same example. Land value is 1 lakh. Appreciation by 5%. Which side you have to write? Credit side. Super. And next, in the adjustment, they'll say in the balance sheet. Okay, in the balance sheet, they'll say debtors of 1 lakh. Debtors of 1 lakh. Provision for bad debts 10,000. In outer column, you let 90,000. Yes or no? Okay, very good. That was written in that was given in the balance sheet. In the adjustment, they told that all debtors are good. Simple. All debtors are good. They'll not say nothing. That is an adjustment. That is an adjustment. You have to do that. That is an adjustment. Okay, very good. All debtors are good. How you have to do? Debtors means already the value of an asset decreases. Oh my God. The value of an asset decreases. How, sir? How you can say? In the balance sheet, they don't know the debtors of rupees 1 lakh. There is a provision of 10,000, and the outer column we have written 90,000. That means the provision which you made is useless. Yes or no? Indirectly, you have decreased the value of an asset. Now you have to increase the value of an asset. Which side you have to write? Credit side. Understood? With this logic, if you apply this logic, the whole revaluation is over. See, you want to prepare revaluation at the time of admission, retirement, death. None of this logic is not applicable for dissolution of a partnership. Be very careful. Because the reason is very simple. The reason is very simple. At the time of admission, retirement, or death, you will prepare balance sheet. At the time of dissolution, you will not prepare balance sheet at all. You will not at all prepare balance sheet at the time of dissolution of a partnership firm. Okay, now this is what same you want to do. In fundamentals, we have done fluctuating method. What we have done fluctuating method? Say what you sir, first ledger will be the capital, second ledger will be the current account. When you're clubbing those two, it will become the fluctuating. Yes or no? You know how to prepare revaluation account. Very good. You know how to find out sacrificing ratio. Very good. And next, if you know how to prepare capital accounts, the admission, retirement, death is over. Almost 80% of the problem is over. If they want to twist anything, they can only twist in revaluation account. Be very careful. Almost the questions will be twisted in the at the time of revaluation, because there is no scope for a questionnaire to twist at any point of time. They can twist only at the time of revaluation. If you're perfect in the revaluation account, almost 80% of the problem is over. Because simple, if you do a revaluation profit, or finding out the revaluation profit is wrong, the capital will be wrong. When the capital is wrong, almost the balance sheet will not get tally. Be very careful. See, if you do the revaluation correct, automatically the partner's capital account will be correct, because the same amount you are writing here, the same amount you are writing here, so it will not affect anything. When you are writing the same amount in the capital's account, you have to transfer next to where? Balance sheet. The balance sheet will get tally. See, that is the main thing. When you are preparing the revaluation account, it is the most important. Be very careful. Simple logic. Be very careful. Bifurcate whether it is an asset or whether it is a liability. If it is an asset, see whether increasing or decreasing. Increasing, credit. Decreasing, debit. Very good. Next, liability. Liability increases, debit. Decreases, credit. With this, you can prepare the revaluation account. With the help of this, we can find out the net profit or net loss of the company. Thank you. I'll just come back with the next video. Thank you.